This is Wilco in the background on YouTube, and we're also on YouTube. This is War on War, and I don't see any better song to start with. Maybe others, but this is KEXP. It's a great. I don't know. It's great. That's I can turn it down a little bit if I could. That's Joe Bob Briggs. Long live the drive-in mutants. That's the Grateful Dead. That's a unicorn, and that's Lord Shiva. Lord Shiva, hail Lord Shiva. He smokes all the marijuana for us. I think this is all blank. There's something there. They like phone numbers and shit. Probably shouldn't have shown that, but I wrote down people's phone numbers. There's, you can run and hide. Superior modern man deals with it. Maps are sinking. Would you be equally weighted? A great white shark or Jeremiah Johnson? Well, a great white shark, not for me. That was somebody else. That wasn't me. I didn't answer it that way. I might have answered it a totally different way. This is one of my altars. That's a GoPro Hero 7. You got to learn how to die if you ever want to be alive. Jeff Tweedy, great songwriter, great poet, great musician, suffers from migraines like I do. That's a bummer for him, but goddamn, guy still puts on one of the best shows you'll ever see. Has a great, million other different things he's done. Books of poetry, Golden Smog, started out with Uncle Tupelo. Did that, the Furs band, not Handsome Furs, something similar to that though, he did the band with his son Tweety, then there was that -5 album, Down with Wilco, that was pretty cool. He was backing up Daniel Johnston on the Farewell tour in Chicago. But anyway, that's Jeff Tweedy in the background there on YouTube, on the TV. Can I do that? Can I be on YouTube and showing YouTube at the same time clearly? I hope the internet doesn't collapse or something. There's a great record here, To Whom It May Concern, by the Bee Gees. What's cool about this is if you open it up, look, there's the Bee Gees. They're playing live for you tonight. There's the whole band, and most people don't like the Bee Gees. That's fine. You don't have to. I do. I probably like the Bee Gees enough. This is Wilco performing Impossible Germany live on KCRW. KCRW. The last one was KEXP. KEXP. These are radio stations. They're on YouTube as well. I'm sure there's a way I could add links or something. I don't know if you have questions. I guess you can leave comments or some shit. But anyway, I got glasses on my face. David Bromberg is another great musician. If I wanted to change this song, I would probably put probably one of my favorite vinyls. It's upstairs. I don't feel like going upstairs right now. I got stitches in my foot here. Relatively not so great wound here. Because it's in between. See where the skin's white down there? It's not right. 6 stitches. That was just super glued shut. Super glue. If it's a straight or relatively straight cut like this one when my dog ripped open my hand because she had a sore spot and I picked her up badly. It's my fault. Not hers. Super glue. That's all you really need for a good straight cut. If it's a little jagged, be careful. Yeah. So, obviously I can walk around, see how that works. You can walk, you just monitor your, anyway, This is another altar. That's a little darker in here, so I could put on some light. Um, that's a tapestry that my brother's sister gave him. And it's the wheel of the year. So Yule, this is the triple moon goddess symbol. See, one moon, two moon, three moon, triple moon. At Yule tide greetings, so forth and so on, right? So that's, December-ish, time. And then Imbo Ostara, look like Easter. Yeah, it's why, people. Beltane, and then Litha, Lamas, Mabon, and then Samhain. I know it looks like Sam Hain. There was a band in between Misfits and Danzig that was Sam Hain, but there was also Samhain. Sam Hain was Danzig's band. That's why they had so little out, and then they just became Danzig. And these are the alchemical symbols: air. See, look, and down here's earth, and then up here's fire, and then down here's water. Some people will talk about a fifth element, and that would really be spirit, ether, maybe something like that. So there could be a fifth element if you wanted to talk about it like that. Great Luc Besson movie, probably my favorite. Mila Jovovich plays the titular fifth element, and Bruce Willis plays a kind of a ex-military, down on his luck, taxi driver. And Multipass, Lilu, Dallas, anyway, Multipass. Anyway, it's a movie reference. So, anyway, just, this is not an altar, but my spirit guide, Sassy Luxie, is on it because it's the AC's beaming on her. So she's liking that. This is, of course, she comes on my shoulders as well. See, she's just like riding, if you'd like a ride. And then that's another. This is a two-headed guardian dog from Chinese mysticism as well. So it's double protected. This is the complete Monty Python's Flying Circus. I did, and this is Monty Python Live. I'm missing the German episode, the lost German episode, which was released separately on DVD. I lent that to my father and my, I guess, new mom. But then they got confused about something. I think it's dementia. Well, for my father, I think it is. It certainly reminds me of, many things. But H.P. Lovecraft stories come to mind. Whispers in the Dark, Brown Jenkin comes to mind. But anyway, then I've got, Bloodsuckers. They'll win your heart, then devour your soul. Then this is Hershey Gordon Lewis's Blood Feast. You've got a Blood Trilogy, Blood Feast, 2000 Maniacs, and Color Me Blood Red. Then the adult version of Jekyll and Hyde, The Muppet Show Season 1, Brothers Grimm, music videos, and The Rockford Files Season 3. And those are all just the shit that didn't fit, because here's Rockford Files Season 2, and just a bunch of other movies. And then there are other movies over there behind the Tetragrammaton. Because I wouldn't want you to think this is just, we could, it's an oil incense burner, and there are movies. And, and this is still Wilco. I didn't change it. And here's my lovely lady friend left that here. So, hey, Ava, you need to come pick up your bath time Deadpool. And then this is other stuff. That's like a weird tarot reading in a jar. And that's a dancing lady who doesn't dance. This is... I'm sorry, I like to switch perspectives. I don't know if y'all are watching. Oh my goodness. Oh, I gotta get that now. That happens sometimes. Probably need a drink too, don't I? So, might at one point I talk about Alice in Wonderland? Certainly. Might I at one point talk about Diogenes? Certainly. Will I talk about witches that want to show me their sexy panties? You best damn well believe Dog Witch will be talked about, and if we can get the wonderful artist creator to do an interview or something, better goddamn believe it. One of my favorite comic books, Dog Witch. Will the artist that created this weird alien Amish woman ever come forward? It was created in 1976. I'd love to meet you. We'll talk about the Fibonacci sequence for certain. Probably talk about skeletons. We'll talk about antique toys from Austria, modern toys, horses, mainly because my offspring, my child, Madison loves horses, so of course there's something on my altar to represent those I love. That's a Daniel Johnston illustration back there. Can I have some service, please? That's a self-portrait. He's down at the pizza shop. And black signature's actually his, and the red was on all prints of that. This is a good puff stick if you want it. And I mean, you can have this one if you're here, but I can't transfer things. That's my raven wing. I have touched it. The shaman who gifted it to the shaman who gifted it to me touched it, and a beautiful scarlet woman that holds my heart, one of many, touched it one night. It was just me and her. We were up late. And, I thought it was all right. And if I think it's all right, well, it is. I'm a Thelemite. You guys, I guess, all should probably know that by now. There's been enough signs, I think, in here. If you know me at all, I chop off my arms and legs and throw me right out here. This is my back door. If you throw me right out here, you cut off my arms and legs and throw me right out here. I'm Matt. Welcome. This will be a channel, a repository. Richard Brautigan once wrote An Abortion, a historical romance. I think it was 1967. The full title. All of Richard Brautigan's works had full titles. What is Richard Brautigan's best work? Goddamn. Well, I think you'd have to talk about whether you were one of his novels, one of his short story collections, or one of his books of poetry. And each time would warrant a deep discussion. A lot of people, I think, would say best novel. That's tough. I'm going to say best Willard and his bowling trophies. But that's a tough one. That's a tough one to read. A lot of sadness, a lot of pain, and it don't always go away. But then again, Richard Brautigan knew a lot about pain that didn't go away. God bless him, in 1984, he shot off his head. He borrowed a gun, and he rotted for a month before anybody found him. Sad story. But nobody ever really respected him much when he was alive. He was kind of a inner childlike, innocent guy. Fell in love with the wrong woman over and over again, that's for sure. The last time he found true love, he thought, was in Japan. He wrote a book of poetry, June 30th. Because he was bouncing between his place in California and Tokyo a lot, crossing the international date line. He brought her over here, then it went south again. And then maybe Sombrero Fallout would be my favorite book. I used to have that. I think it got stolen or I misplaced it. One of the two. But so, Richard Brautigan. If you ever see a Richard Brodigan book out there, bring it to me. And Christopher Little, you still have 2 of my Richard Brodigan hardbacks on loan. They're at your mother's house, or were in your mother's house, where she lives. So let's get them back to me. And Shannon, please remind him. I know you guys are quarantining now, but if those could be returned, I would appreciate it. And also my brother Steven's. I borrowed it because I was going to give it back to him. The Batman, the Batman Arkham Knight, that graphic novel. I understand I never returned The Wire to you after I borrowed them, but they're available streaming now. I'm talking about books that are actually valuable and you still have them. You can return them anytime you'd like. Or you can give me the monetary equivalent or, something. But they were in your possession the last time we talked. I don't care. I just stating a fact. Richard Brodigan. I love his books. And now I'm no more cautious about lending out books because I'm just grateful that anybody wants to read a book these days. So if you come to my house here, there's bookshelves.
Bless my mind out this being told how to live. Well, without knowing how much more than I can give. This is how I tell it. Oh, it's long. Once a day, one soon is gone.
So, commercial here about Black Lives Matter, and that's the truth. And I'm not being insincere when I say, that please realize a lot of people will respond with all lives matter, and that's not in dispute. I don't think anybody's disputing that. It's merely a spotlight on things. Certainly all lives matter. But, think about the monuments. You're getting upset that the monument that you love for your heritage is getting torn down. Understood. Yeah. It represents a small agricultural government banding together, state-wise. Every state south of the Mason-Dixon line pretty much was Confederate. Maryland was south of the Mason-Dixon line, but they remained neutral. They never sided with the Union or the Confederacy. They remained neutral. Maryland did, to the best of their ability. But it was a civil war for certain. Brother against brother, sister against sister, uncle and nephew fighting each other. It was a battle. But we had fought battles before. We had fought not too long the Revolutionary War, and the Civil War was a repercussion of that. It was really, I hate to say it, the proletariat versus the bourgeoisie. And most people don't know proletariat or bourgeoisie anymore. So we'll try to work and talk about what we can, but there might sometimes be a commercial on, and there have been many statues. A lot of the statues, like Mount Rushmore, for instance. Look into who funded Mount Rushmore. Just look into that. And there is a secret part behind Mount Rushmore. I think it's in one of the heads or something. That's still guarded and protected by the U.S. government. You know what I mean? And my brother, long may we remain immortal, because we've been alive a long time. Have we not, Stephen? We have been. And love you you are a brother. I was not blessed with any brothers of blood. Instead, it's been the ones I've chosen to be my brothers that really matter. The ones that have been by me through the thickest times and the thinnest. And, times when I haven't always been a decent sort. Even when I was maybe not the best brother, Stephen, I always meant to be. But sometimes I chased the wrong thing. And, I apologize anytime me chasing the wrong thing ended up where maybe I didn't pay you the attention you deserved. But in a pinch, there's the people when you're down and out, you really know who your friends are. And the other day when I found myself pretty damn low, pretty damn circling the drain, running low on everything, stretched too thin, trying to help everybody, really, at once. And imagine that, I stretched myself too thin. So, big piece of toast, not enough butter. The butter is me in this scenario. Anyway, we'll talk about these things. We'll talk about magical names. We'll talk about magic theory. We'll talk about theology. We'll talk about monotheism. That's one God. We'll talk about polytheism. That's more than one God. We'll talk about music. We'll talk about the music I like. We'll talk about musicians that I know personally. And we'll talk about songs. And I did say David Bromberg. Yes, you usually see me with one or more pair of glasses on. And if it makes you feel any better, and be like, oh, where's Matt's glasses? I've got a pair right here. These are orange. There's many different colors. And the leather recliner that's out front on my porch. Yellow leather recliner. Nice lazy boy. Hopefully it doesn't rain. I can take it apart and get it moved in here soon. But I've got to do something with this recliner first before I can work. And then obviously I'm going to have to move this. And, there's my microphone booth, my loop machine and guitar and amps over there. There's my hookah. So there's my tarot table. One of them. Pardon the machete and the daggers, but not really. They're part of ritual observance. So, I don't mean to pardon them, but they're not going anywhere. If I go out, the machete will be on my hip, obviously. Used to have 24 karat gold where the cutting edge is, but clearly you use it a couple times and then you have to sharpen the gold off. It's just the way it goes. But it was once. And still you can see it where it did have a little bit. And obviously, you just This is my knife belt. I mean, it only has 2 knives on it now, but clearly we'll just sheath that. So that's in its sheath, and then of course we have just a nice little, it's got a little skull and a whip, and just just a nice little skinner there. Just in case you need to skin something, if you want to. I mean, you might run into something that needs to be skinned, like a deer. It's dead, and really, if I found a dead deer, I would chop off its feet. Why? Well, that's another story. Part for another. I mean, you have to leave them wanting more. Sorry if it wasn't that much razzle dazzle tonight. I'm a little tired. I've been running all day. Not tired enough to go to bed. No, I'm about ready to urinate. Thank God I've got my kilt on. I've got my spear on, and I've got that wonderful, this is a pewter spoon. And then I've got, some tarot cards. Oh, yes, I do. And I can see tarot cards here in my spear on. See, look, that's one deck here, see? That's the triple moon goddess. Remember the triple moon from up there? Yeah, and then you remember that's the Thoth deck. We talked about that. Visually we did. So that's the GoPro. We're going to go probably out with that, but we just wanted to make a video to say hello. So this is the one altar. And again, look, another bookshelf, but this bookshelf is not together. This is just books that we need to put away. And this is another bookshelf here that isn't yet together and needs to be put away. And here's an extra table and the Bee Gees, and then a whole guest room with nobody obviously being there because it'd be hard. The dogs like it because they still hang out there. And then this is the master bedroom. It's, I haven't got to make it yet. It looks pretty, but it needs new sheets. Because Foxy has decided this is where she sleeps. I think she's probably sleeping now, or just pretending to. And Coco is Coco's down on the floor. They argue about the bedding all the time. Who sleeps where? And so they whoever sleeps on the bed, somebody else sleeps on the floor. They alternate. They rarely sleep in the same bed together. Sometimes Coco and them, if they do sleep together, they both sleep together on that bed in the guest room, which they access by crawling under the table right now. They like it, but they're both in this room for whatever reason, relaxing. So there's the bathroom. Got stuff written on it because I live by myself and I like to leave notes for myself. It's a poem by Kurt Vonnegut called "Worship." I liked it. I read it daily, so I might as well write it on my wall. So anyway, working on some sculpture, and I used to be in love with a girl named Cheyenne, still am, but she made some poor decisions and went different directional computations from myself. So like every woman I've ever loved has decided they're not for me at this moment in time. Maybe they switch themselves around or something. I don't know. I don't want them to stop being what they are. I meet a person, I love who they are. Maybe there's certain aspects they might need to change or should, but I don't ever want to be the impetus for that change. I want them to change for themselves. Yeah. So anyway, you might see names written around the house. Like this says to Matt from Jimmy Dale Gilmore. He's at the Flatlanders. Oh, see, Landers there. And then that was on 1114 in Alexandria, VA. That would be Virginia, Birchmere. It's a venue. It's the fearless who love and the loveless who fear. Now, Joe Ely signed it too. He drew that wonderful illustration. And then Butch Hancock drew Texas and reminded me of all the highlights there are in Texas. Lubbock, Austin, and then where he lives. And then there's a call coming in, so let me end this now. Big Dave's calling.